Don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video.
It's time for a walk.
Time for a what?
A walk.
Oh, a WALK.
WLK, is it Bentley Bob's?
Okay.
Say hello. Before it rains.
Before it gets any wetter, you mean?
Yeah.
Right, let's just move that camera over here and then just tilt you up a little bit. Sorry if I'm making it. Is it pouring down with rain?
Pouring the rain.
Oh, well, you're not going to be gone long then, are you? Okay, so today I'm in the kitchen. I'm working on the kitchen table, or the dining room table, kitchen table really. Not quite so formal. And I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Now that I've got the sewing machine working and the issue over the spool winding has been resolved, thanks Dad, then I'm able to start, well I've already practiced, I've already started stitching pockets and whatnot onto signatures for some handmade journals that I'm making. And I'm making these handmade journals just because, so I can practice, so I can get to grips with using the sewing machine, and also I can iron out any ideas that I've got for pockets, tuck spots, flaps, that kind of stuff. I can get the mechanics of those worked out, have a practice run with them, so that when I need to do them for proper, if you know what I mean, I know how to do it and it's not going to be too much of a struggle. But today I wanted to have a go at creating a type of pocket which has those circular pieces of cardboard that you wrap like a figure of eight, like a folio catch if you like, you get on document wallets and that kind of stuff. I want to see if I can try and create one of those using card, peekaboo, hand punch. This is a 1 1/8 circle punch, EK Success I believe. Yes, EK Success, one of their old ones because it's the whale shape. Yeah, that's what they call it, the whale shape. I have my crocodile, and I've got some Tim Holtz Ideology paper stash stuff. Excuse me for leaning. Oh, let me see. Right, now then. Now this is one of those paper pads where the front has fallen off and disappeared into obscurity. And I don't know what this paper pad is called because they don't put on the back what the actual collection's called. Tim. It's only on the front. It doesn't say what it is. All it says TH93550. That's all it says. It doesn't say anywhere else what the name of this stash piece is called. So I'm going to take, I'm going to do one just to start off with, and I'm going to film the process of what I'm doing to get ready to create one of these pockets. So if you're a junk journaler and you've been doing it for ages, you probably already know how to do this. If you're just getting started with creating your own journals, then you probably will get something out of this. Now I need my paper trimmer, and obviously it's at the other side of the table. Of course it's at the other side of the table, it would be. There we go. So 12 by 12 sheet of Tim Holtz paper. There we go. And I'm going to cut this down to, I'm going to do it in imperial just to make it easier. I'm going to cut it down to 5 inches. So I'm going to do it the full 12 inches deep but 5 inches wide. 5 inches wide by the full 12 deep. And what I want to do is I want to do it so that we've got, when we're finished, something that's going to look like this. Something that's going to look like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take like a quick measurement of what that is. So that's 2.5 inches. So I'm going to score at 2.5 inches. So that's the first one. So let me just fold that flat. So we've now got 2.5. That's going to leave us with 9.5 on the back to play with. So then I want to fold that over so it gives us some room to tuck under. And then how deep is that going to be? That's probably going to be 5.5. So if I fold just slightly over 5.5 actually, but never mind. It's near as we say here in the UK, it's near as bugger it. It's not really worth bothering with. So get rid of that paper trimmer. So that's what we've got so far. We've got a flap. This is going to be a pocket. This part is going to be stitched. And then I'm going to create some circles that we can wrap cord round on this side. Now to do that, I need to make sure I've got some string on the back. So I've got some twine. And I need to make sure I've got enough, more than enough, to start off with. It just happens to be a massive pair of scissors on the table there that Ian's been using. But of course they're nearly blunt. Because. So what I want to do is I actually want to glue this string to the back. First of all. But I've also got some of that really tacky red liner tape. Not tacky as in sticky, not tacky as in not very nice. And I'm going to do it so it's kind of like in the middle. How wide? Let's have a look. So what did we say? 4 inches, didn't we? No, we didn't. We said 5 inches, so 2.5 inches. Is there a pencil there? Yes, there is. There we go. Ian's also been working on the table today as well. We've actually been to see Grandma and Grandad today. I bought a few bits for Mum from eBay and had them delivered here. So we took them down. Delivered them to her today and took obviously Mr. Bentley. Right, so what I've done is I've drawn a line on there, 2.5 inches in, so it's halfway. So that's where I'm going to put my red liner tape to start off with. This is going to end up being one of those videos where I just do a lot of rambling because this is kind of, it's a suck it and see kind of video. I don't know whether this is going to work or not. That's the whole reason for doing it. It's a test. Okay, so just peel the back off. I've got an idea in my head how these things need to be constructed, but whether or not it works out that way is a different matter. Okay, so red liner tape down. I should have shown you that, shouldn't I? I put some red liner tape down and then I've just put the string on the back. That's going nowhere. So that then will pull through and then wrap around the circle once we've actually got it on there. But that's not secure. It's not as secure as I would want it to be. So I'm going to cut a strip of card. Just a bit smaller and maybe just a little bit wider. And I'm just doing this by hand, like so, and I'm just going to lay that over the top of the string. Now because we've got a little bit of that red liner tape on there, now the string's preventing it from actually sticking down, that's fine. That's fine. Glue instead. Alright, let's grab some glue. And I'm going to put a bead of glue on the string and a little bit of glue either side of the string. Like that. then put my card over the top. And this card's too thick. It's just pulling straight off. Okay, mistake number 1. Card too thick. Right, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to kind of manoeuvre this. Push it down and rub it so that it's grabbing and holding, which that seems to be doing now. Cool, that's fine. Right, so I've put the card over the back. That's now grabbing it enough, I think, just to hold that in place. But just to make doubly sure, I'm going to stitch over the top. I'm going to do a zigzag stitch over the top of it. So let me just pull in the sewing machine. Okay. And let me see if I can turn this round so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm hoping that I'm not going to knock the camera. So if I do, it might start wobbling a bit. All right, so there's the card stuck with a piece of string. But what I want, what I want, is to set my sewing machine up with the zigzag stitch. So I want a wide zigzag stitch. That's going to be number 5 on this. So I need to turn that dial back to number 5. So the arrow is now pointing to number 5, which is the wide zigzag stitch. Try not to cover up the camera lens. Let's just see if we can do it like that. And then I'm just going to push this through until it's lined up to the top. Start a little way off. And then wind the needle down, and then I can start to sew. But of course my foot pedal is right over there. So I need to just grab the foot pedal. There we are. Okay, so I'm ready. Let's just turn the light on as well, just because it might just illuminate it a little bit better. And I'm going to zigzag over the string. And then reverse it. Right, now what's happened there? Not sure. Ah, right. I've snapped the needle. Okay, so 2 things happened there. 1, yes, I snapped the needle. Why it snapped, I've got no idea. It may be that I was just trying to stitch through too many layers because of the card and the string and the paper, or whether, you know, it just happens. And I don't have a spare. So, but luckily enough, I'd done enough for it not to really matter. So instead of stitching the sides up of my pocket there, I'm going to use the red liner tape. So it will still look exactly the same, apart from the fact that it won't be stitched up the sides to start off with. Once I get a replacement needle, then I can just whip up the sides with it. That way it will look pretty. So I'm just putting some red liner tape down on the edges, which I will show you in just a second. Because obviously I'm in the kitchen and I don't have my overhead camera. Right, so red liner tape is now going to go on that bottom flap there. So when it goes over, they're going to stick in place and they're going to hold in place. That then creates our little pocket with the flap. Now, just because, what I will do is I will just also put, thank you Mr. Bentley Bobs. You can obviously tell he's back from his WALK. So's Ian. Did you get wet?
Very wet. And it's raining horizontally.
Yes, it's raining horizontally.
And it burns when it's really cold.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm now going to take the red stuff, the stuff that covers the tape.
Back in.
Is it back in? Well, it's actually on the top, isn't it? So
back into.
top in tape, back in tape, whatever it's called. Okay, so now it's gone, and now I can just gently fold that over. Okay, so now we've got the pocket, and I've just punched a half moon out of the pocket front so that we can now put stuff in it.
What sort of stuff?
Any kind of stuff. Apart from liquid, because that would be just not right. And I wouldn't advise putting any food in there unless it's a tea bag or something like that.
Or some chocolate.
Dry goods will be fine. So can I just borrow that post-it notepad you've got there?
I'm sure.
Other brands are available. Pocket, so it will comfortably fit. Post-it notepad, that kind of stuff inside it.
A digestive biscuit.
A bit crumbly. A bit crumbly. Okay, so now I need to do the circular tie mechanism for the front. So to do that, he says putting his paper to one side, grabbing his card, I'm going to first of all get my crocodile, and I'm going to use the largest hole. Let's see if it's not already blocked up with other card bits. There we go. And I'm going to just punch a wee hole just there, look. And then I'm going to take my 1 1/8 circle punch.
I've got the inch as well here.
Thank you for that. And I'm going to just line that up, and I'll try and turn it round before I do it, so that the hole is in the centre. You see? That's how you kind of get your best placement. You do it by eye. It's alive.
Is it better to do it that way around than do the big one then the small one in the middle?
Well, if you do that one first and then do the small one, the chances are you won't get it.
Get it in the middle.
Yeah, because you haven't got as much to play with.
I often wondered that.
Okay, so I've got a little tiny hole there now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an eyelet. Bom, 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 bom. Let's see what we got. We've got a nice little gold one there.
Very industrious today, aren't we, in here?
We are. And I'm going to also kind of pop one, just lay that over the top, just to kind of where I want it to go. Grab a pen or something and make a quick mark through the hole so that when you take it off, you know exactly where you're going to be punching. And then I'm going to punch a hole in that also.
When I was little, important documents used to come in those kind of envelopes.
Yeah, kind of like document wallet-y kind of
Yeah,
things.
from the solicitors or from somewhere official. I think Mum and Dad's house deeds were in something like that.
Yeah. So pop a hole through there also. So we've now got the hole there. And then I'm going to line those up. So like that. And then grab an eyelet. Pop the eyelet through.
I can't do that before long.
And then crimp it using the crocodile. Make sure I get it. Are we all in? There we go. So now you can loop your string. It is fairly strong cardboard.
Well, that's good.
And will loosen once you've wrapped it round a couple of times. There you go. One little Documente wallet. Now we know now that that string is going to be too long, so I can cut it about there. And then all we have to do is when you stick this down into your journal, that all that gubbin stuff on the back where it's been stitched to hold the string to make sure it never comes loose.
Ah, you won't see it.
No, you won't at all. And of course you can distress the edges, you can add another piece on the front here if you want to, glue a little whatnot on the front. But yeah, fairly kind of easy to make some pockets. Now if you don't want that hole going all the way through, or you could use a brad and then just put a piece on the back to cover the tailings of the brad.
I think they're tidier though.
If you don't have a crocodile, it looks nicer.
Go out and buy one.
They're not cheap.
But they're not as expensive as they are here. Our friends in the States get them a lot cheaper.
Well, yeah, because obviously these are imported into the UK. But, yeah, brads are cheaper. So you can just punch a hole through, feed the brad through, and then you can decorate the back if you want.
Not as much fun though, 'cause you haven't got any kits to buy, have you?
Well-
We all like buying kits, don't we?
Yes. So, obviously the thickness of the card that you use for your circle dictates how, if you're pardon the expression, how stiff it's going to be. But there you go. So one documenty wallety kind of thing for your junk journals. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.